NBA, National Basketball Association. We talking basketball. This is On the Block with the Meat Pack boy. Let's go. One of the big things we want to talk about right here is my boy here to my right, I think, is a Philadelphia 76ers fan. And, hey, let me tell you something. They're looking good right now, bro. Obviously, the best record in the league right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're just top of the East as well. I mean, obviously, you got the best record in the league at 7-2. Starting out great, 5-0 at home, boy.
Yeah, no, here's my thing, and I'm not going to lie. I think we need to slow down a little bit, for sure. Here's one thing. I don't think anyone didn't think Philadelphia was going to be bad. Best team in the East, maybe not that good.
They're the best team in the East right now.
We know they're going to be. We knew they were going to be good regular season. Joel Embiid is playing out of his mind. Tobias Harris is shooting lights out. Seth Curry's playing phenomenal.
Seth Curry has been such a great asset, dude. Love Seth Curry. Danny Green as well.
But here's my thing. Hey, they beat up on Charlotte twice. They beat up on Detroit twice.
Yeah.
They won a game against the Knicks, and then they lost last night, obviously, to the Nets. You know what I'm saying? So that's things they should do. They should be whomping on the Charlottes and the whatnot. But those aren't very good basketball teams. So, you know, I think we just need to – I'm not saying slow down. They're going to be super good all year. Can they have the best record in the East? I could definitely – it's early. It's early. No, I'm not saying they're going to be bad at all. I'm not saying they're going to fall off. They could very well end the year being first in that division. But I'm saying I think we should know that, and it's going to be like that. They're going to tear up in the regular season. We just got to get to the playoffs with them. Obviously, Doc Rivers has he has those boys playing really hard. They do look the best they have in the past couple of years, but they've also been a first-round playoff team the past 3 years. And can Doc take him over that hump? I don't know. He hasn't been able to for pretty much his whole career, except once in 2008 when he won a finals. You know, so that's really going to come down to can Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons really elevate their game come playoff time. And like I said, I think Joel Embiid Joel Embiid, honestly, I think right after LeBron and KD, Giannis, whatever, could potentially be one of those best players in the league. And obviously Ben Simmons kind of has to develop a shot, but they have great depth. They have a great pace and space going on with that roster.
3 this season.
Yeah, did make one of them. That's awesome. Probably another month before he takes another.
100%, dude. 7-2.
That's
ride it.
No, they're a really good team, you know, and obviously the Nets beating them last time. I mean, the Nets are going to be in that conversation as well.
Nets are a great team. I agree with you there. The thing with Philly for me, though, it's been on the bench to figure out the game. You know, Ben Simmons and Embiid, going to go out there and ball every night. They're gonna. Ben Simmons isn't necessarily your giant point scorer, but the way he facilitates the ball makes the team way better. But for me, the key players, we got Seth Curry. If he makes 2 threes at least, we're good. And then Toby Harris has to drop at least 19 a game. He's so hot sometimes, and other times he will fall off pretty cold. So that's huge. And then another one, boy, we just mentioned before, Shake Milton, dude. If he's has a game, like his point production adding to what everyone else is doing, there's no way they're going to lose when Shake Milton has a good game.
Yeah, Shake Milton's a stud. They got studs, and obviously the Seth Curry and the Danny Green. Like I said, that was
start that Millhouse. We should start referring to Shake Milton as Millhouse.
Millhouse,
put that on.
But boy, Millhouse out there getting buckets on him. But I mean, listen, can I go ahead and say this is an Eastern Conference final team? It looks like one for sure. Right now, you know, it looks
Magic,
like one.
Pacers, Celtics. I mean, Knicks are 5th in the Eastern Conference right now.
Hey, that's the thing. We talk about the Knicks for a second. I'll say one thing right here. That man, Tom Thibodeau, has me believing every night, and I think has the players believing every night that they can win this basketball game. My biggest concern really so far, but it's kind of been Tom Thibodeau's MO, is obviously playing high minutes to the young guys. We saw when he was in Minnesota how much Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns minutes were up, and I'm seeing that this year a lot with Mitchell Robinson, RJ Barrett. There's sometimes it feels like they played the whole entire game.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to develop your talent.
Yeah, but you also like don't want to blow out your star young player's knee from overplaying him too much. And that boy Julius Randle has been balling.
Yeah.
Like I said, can he keep that up for 72 games? Probably not. Austin Rivers has looked phenomenal at some points. Can he keep that up for 72 games? Probably not. But that's not the point. I think Tom Thibodeau is bringing in that culture. And I think Tom Thibodeau, what I just said, shows that we know who this team is going to be built around. It's going to be R.J. Barrett. It's going to be Mitchell Robinson. Still kind of got to figure out a point guard thing. Kevin Knox is just so up in the air right now, dude. I feel like that's such a waste of potential. They got a couple of younger pieces right now. Like I said, they're fifth in the league right now. And do I think that stays all year? No. I just think with how young they are and come crunch time down the last month or two of the season, they're just not going to be there yet. But they do play hard. It looks really good. So I am super hype as a Knicks fan. I like Tom Thibodeau. Like I said, I think he's kind of cut from that old cloth, but he plays a lot of that grit and grind kind of style you feel. And I'm a big fan of that, just seeing the Knicks playing hard every night and being fun. And, like I said, I've dogged on Julius Randle. I'm not the biggest fan of Nerlens Noel and Austin Rivers, but they've produced and have bought into their roles. And now it's just all about if R.J. Barrett, Mitch Robinson, Knox, if they can turn into those guys. And like I said, I don't think so, but I don't know. The East is interesting this year, dude, because like I sit here right now, if I'm going East and West, if I'm looking at the East, I could probably say Detroit, Cleveland, another two, probably Charlotte, like team definitely not going to make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? But then if I look at the Western Conference side of things, dude, I don't know who's not making the playoffs in that conference. I really don't. Like it feels like every single team, maybe not the Grizzlies, who's Morant being out, but
Grizzlies, Timberwolves. I mean, the Rockets are down right now 2-4. But I mean, I think
they'll figure that out.
Yeah, they're going to turn it around. I mean, I see Thunder being low tier over there as
well. Thunder, they probably won't.
Shout out Shy SGA, dude. I can't even begin to pronounce your name. I apologize.
Not a good team.
But it's just a rough team over there.
Yeah,
but you're right. Everyone else up there. I mean, you got Lakers, Jazz, Pelicans, Trailblazers, dude. Everyone's got some shooters. We got the Suns up there, the Clippers. I mean, yeah. Western Conference is like pretty stacked.
Yeah, Denver and stuff. Dallas. It's kind of like, I don't really what's going on. And I feel like, you look at the Eastern Conference, it's more or less kind of decided. It's going to be Brooklyn, Philly. We got Boston, Toronto, and Milwaukee. I think really those are the only teams kind of seriously in that conversation. Like I said, the Orlandos and the Indiana, Miami, those teams are going to be nice. Maybe we'll see what Washington can do. That boy Bradley Beal dropped like 50-something the other night, dude. That dude's a walking bucket. I think it's more clear-cut who makes it out of the East, and I think it is too for the West for the most part. I still think it comes down to possibly the Lakers and really anybody else, but I think the East is going to be hyped though, dude. I really think it comes down to Philly, Milwaukee, and Brooklyn, dude, because like Brooklyn, bro, that boy Karis LeVert is a star, bro, and he's the sixth man. Like they got depth, they got shooters, they got killers. KD's looking like 90% of what he was doing. Like people forget, like Kevin Durant is like a top 15 basketball player of all time. Like he really is. And obviously Kyrie's wet. So they're going to be nasty, dude. And I think one of the big thing too, we look at Milwaukee, it's really just like they have nice players, but it's really going to be up to like if Giannis can take that next step and go out and win him a championship. We're at a point 2 back-to-back MVPs, defensive player of the year. It's like, all right, that shit's nice, but like
got to get them rings.
I need some of this right here. And I just don't really know. Chris Middleton's nice and Drew Holiday's nice. I just don't know if come against Philadelphia or Brooklyn, Milwaukee has the firepower to keep up with that. Giannis is going to get his. That's why he's a walking triple-double. But you know what I'm saying? It's a depth thing. And like I said, they got a nice player. They got a nice system. It's all evolved around Giannis. And obviously, 2 years in a row, they had the best record in the East. But he's just got to take his shit to a next level, which is crazy to think. He's like 30 and 13 and 8 assists. And to think that you need to be better than that. But that's just really how it has to go. And, if we look at the Western Conference side of things, I know you put some money down on that boy Steph Curry to go get himself a little MVP.
I'm sticking with it. Yeah, definitely a rough start on that. I mean, he just had one insane game. What was it, a couple nights ago? What did he get? 62. I mean, that's disgusting. But again, I mean, the Warriors, they have that same kind of problem you were just talking about with Milwaukee. I mean, Kelly Oubre's starting to turn on a little bit, which is nice. They got that young boy, James Wiseman. But it's just a young team. I mean, Draymond's been in and out of there already just in the beginning of this season. So, I mean, they need Steph to do that a lot more.
Well, see, that's the thing. I think Steph will have the numbers to be in that conversation when all is said and done. I think it's just going to come down to the record. If he's not 7-6 seed, you know what I'm saying? And maybe they do, because I think having Draymond in that lineup, they can be a really good team. Like I say, even though majority of those kids are young, Steph Curry and Draymond are,
season
championships, dude, seasoned guys. So, like I said, I think Steph Curry could, numbers wise, man, he'll be in that conversation.
He's out of it, dude. I mean, no one's really out of it at this point. It's so early. We're 9 games in, Yeah,
I mean, Luka's been frying, and I know a lot of people had some money down Anthony Davis. That's a possibility. And obviously, just because of Giannis's numbers and the record they'll probably be in that conversation too. Yeah. But if we had to look halfway in the season, if I had to put an MVP on somebody right now, I'm honestly going with that boy Joel Embiid. He's just so good, dude. And I just think between Embiid and Simmons, and it's just that's just a nasty duo. Simmons, 6'10" point guard, dude. You can't fucking guard him. And just Joel Embiid with the amount of versatile skills that he has is crazy. And that's really all they had to do is what they did is go out and just get shooters, go put people around them that can just go stand out there and shoot and let them boys go to work. And I think the numbers he's been putting up and them having the best record, I think Joel Embiid so far into the season is the MVP. And it's just been a fun little week and a half, 2 weeks so far, this basketball, seeing these teams get back into it. And like I said, for the most part, a lot of these teams feeling competitive. And I think this is the most at one point I felt like teams can make the playoffs. Really good teams is what I'm saying. Because you get to a point where it's like every single team could be great, but somebody has to win, So it's like, because like in the West, I don't think the Spurs make it or whatnot. But in the East, I think Atlanta's a sleeper going on. They got that boy Trae Young, dude. I feel like we're talking about that boy enough, dude. That kid's a walking bucket. Shoot it from anywhere, dude.
He's an assassin.
And just drop a quiet 30 on him, dude. Like he averaged 30 last year, and I feel like, because they're really just not a good basketball team. But, so like I said, we made a little prediction not too long ago. I'm sitting here right now. If we're just going to overreact, Philly's looking good. Nets are looking good. If we're on the Western Conference side of things, I mean, obviously the Lakers, Clippers still there. And then, I don't really know what happens after. I feel like everything below the Lakers and the Clippers in the Western Conference are very, very good teams. Yeah. I just don't know if they're finals teams. You know what I'm saying? Like they're all solid and young, Portland and Denver. I just don't know if they can get that chip around their finger. But, I mean, we saw last year with Nuggets that, maybe they could go on a crazy little run. And, the Eastern with Miami, they just made the finals in the bubble, but I feel like we're not talking about them like that. I feel like I don't want to say it was a fluke or whatnot. They got a good basketball team, but
they are obviously on a bubble run for sure. But they're a very young, talented team. I mean, you got Jimmy Neutron, Duncan Robinson out here, Tyler Hero
splashing.
So, I mean, those boys are nice, but I mean, their team is just so young is what I'm trying to say. So there's obviously a lot to develop. I mean, having such a deep playoff run, making it to the finals,
you got to give them props.
I mean, yeah, for sure. Huge props. I mean, that's also just add a lot. That takes a lot off of that young, you know what I mean? Like you had a run, you made it that far, that deep, got a little bit more experience under your belt.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then, we obviously got Boston. Boston's going to stay in that conversation.
Boston's going to be up there, dude. Boston be shooting.
And then, you got your sleepers, got your Torontos, the Indianas and whatnot. So I just don't think they got enough to be serious enough.
Yeah, I think the Magic are going to fall off real hard on the Eastern side.
Well, I mean, the Magic, to me, they're good enough to be a little 8 seed. You know, they've done that a couple
I'm
times in
saying
the
they're
past
bad,
years, but
you know, they're top 5 on the East right now. It's like,
nah,
okay,
it ain't gonna
it's not
stay
going
that
to
way.
stay that way.
They got good players too. I mean, I like Isaac and a couple guys. They got Vucevic, but they just lost Markel Fultz for the year. And
Dude, straight up, dude cannot stay healthy. Brutal.
yeah, it's
to Markel.
you know, it took him a year or two to kind of turn into a solid player, but he just hasn't been able to stay healthy.
Yeah,
and
turns out he just didn't need Brett Brown screaming in his face.
It's true, dude. Just
Who would have thought?
broke his jump shot. But
who would have thought? He's like, shoot it again.
Yeah, for real, and just the
Right,
pressure.
Brett
Brown. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm hyped to continue watching this basketball. It's been a fun little couple weeks. I'm excited to see where shit goes. I give a big shout out to my Knicks, man. Right now, they playing hard basketball, dude. It's been fun to watch. I've watched every single game.
It's a good game.
It's gonna be a good game, dude. They're playing hard. Like I said, I think by game 40, those boys are gonna be worn out, and I don't think it stays up like that. But Tom Thibodeau, as I said, just setting that standard, putting these guys through the ringer, see who can play and who not, and we'll evaluate things come mid-season. But hey, man, that being said, basketball, boom, son, shake and bake, NBA Jam.